Russ Hollander. On the bench 37 years, welcome to my new gallery and studio workshop in the heart of Stamford's historic downtown. What really requires to do this craft is a lifetime of patience and just an absolute passion for creating beauty and learning a craft. It's about putting a piece of jewelry on, not only that you love and own and connect with, but your grandkids are going to fight over. And you know what? Knowing that somebody's going to want grandma's ring, it's special not only because it was grandma's ring, but it was special because it lasted that long. There's a big connect there in terms of why you see jewelry at auctions and at shows from the late 19th and early 20th century. The common denominator there was that it was handmade. It was fabricated for a purpose, for a wearer, to be durable. And the fact that it was handmade or forged or fabricated, not cast, gave it a type of durability that would transcend generations. Your wedding band is really only designed, engineered, to last maybe 5 or 7 years, 10, 12 years if you're careful. And when we ask folks, how long do you really plan on being married? Generally, it's a little longer than that. We produce our work all across North America. We have clients from Nova Scotia to Hawaii. Last year, we produced almost 20,000 wedding bands. Jewelry is a sculptural form. It's a three-dimensional object, and it's very tactile. It's meant to fit on your body like a glove. And designing a piece of jewelry in CAD on a computer screen is instinctively two-dimensional. No matter how you twist and turn it, no matter how much the jeweler spends on multiple $10,000 programs, you never get to hold it in your fingers until after it's printed. After it's printed, it's cast. And yes, you can go back and you hand detail it and file it and set it. It is custom made, but by its no means handmade. The process is very hands-on, as opposed to using the CAD process, which is a computer screen. I'm still very old school. I take a #2 soft lead and I draw it on parchment. I sketch it out. I do all my engineering with a micrometer. I was born and raised on a drafting table. My dad was an industrial engineer. I learned to draw with a rapidograph. So, again, very old school, and everything that I build is purely fabricated. And so when you're using words like handmade and fabrication, it's indicative of a process that is uncast. There is no wax, there is no printing. So in the handmade discipline, or the fabrication discipline, I tend to match colors of stones with certain colors of metal. Over the last 3.5+ decades, I've accumulated a lot of really interesting skills, and most of those skills came from accumulating all sorts of really interesting tools. There have been a lot of great jewelers that have passed through my life. And by discussing their process and their passion, not only their process in design, but their process in fabrication, as they retired, I've had the wonderful privilege of acquiring their tool sets. Today, I have a 3,600 square foot shop that literally has many tens of thousands of unique tools, some of them that date back to the late 19th century. Some of my antique millgrain tools, people call millgrain, the little beady bits at the edge of a piece of handmade pave jewelry, antique millgrain because it was a style, but my grilled millgrain tools are really antique. They date back to the 20s and 30s, and so they yield a result that the contemporary tools just simply don't do. We're fortunate to have one of the only few laser welders in this part of the United States. And what a laser welder does is actually welds with hot light. Everything that you see in my shop fits so perfectly. There's no gap between a prong and a stone, or a pearl and what we call the mounting, because everything was purpose engineered to fit that particular unique specimen. The most fun I have on my bench is the actual fitting together process, the engineering, how all of the little pieces fit together. I actually see the piece in an exploded view in my mind before I pick up the first tool. I already know how high each wire is going to be as I build each bridge. The one thing that makes our craft very different from what most other jewelers do is that I custom and pre-fit each connection. I lose all track of time and even sound in the world around me. Almost the entire process of building a gallery and building a tool set and building a skill set all supports one probably very bad habit, and that's my habit to be absolutely immersed in the piece of craft that I'm building at that particular time. And there are times that I wake up way before my alarm clock in the morning, already with my brain spinning, that I can't wait to get to my bench. If you walk through my door with a love of craft, whatever the craft is, whether it was textile or glass, and have an open heart and an open mind, I can pretty much do the rest.